to us. Na me hwɛ punishment school prescribe ma teachers so women for ma teenagers and kola edu high school any middle school na punishment in a differ. Last week me share my boss say to us and then you become more of a solution. Sabbath no any Friday na me wo Worcester. You know more here additional we are. Thursday ni lipa by kama. Na a year if you are there we are na year to us on a dear. Na a dukem. Ni whom be that. Looks like the whole church came. The youth were there in their numbers. As I said, topic we a topic here. A year very important. Na mo frɛ mo nan fofor am kan kyerɛ so mo metie bi training parental training one of the most difficult things because wo nyi no ne amame e kyerɛ wo no hu ye no saa na wo ye no saa na wo ye no enti me be change topics ni be brave ne ma ni be brave abɛyɛ wo all about Jesus so no medical and moye. If you are cramming them obey, I mean, all about Jesus. Now, Nina Jina, Senia, Monso, we show interest. We are the Nipan show interest, our Bamubu, because for me to prepare these things, it takes time. And I hope some more in Kenya and Baba. Now, as you come, no, and so now encourage me say here. Yes, then we switch to another topic. Secret to a teenager parent relationship part 2. Mama me miss a question we find here himself. About parents be then oma boa and kola oma do team to move towards independence smoothly. Parents be then. How can parents help teenagers move more smoothly towards independence? Oh yeah, child training a universal. I also have one also in your mistake. Your mistake. Now parents be use 3 methods. Now ni say mainly they try to control the teenager's environment. And you may try to share. You make it can be. Maybe I hate to make canina, but you know most of it. And on our parents not try to control. Now, what we use 3 methods? Mienunye, bakoye. Bakoye protecting. Some will protect the parents and kodano. You have to some idea preaching, and then you have to some inside inoculation. Also inoculation, vaccine, inoculation, inoculate what? Ya dear no, count. Tinia to some and sunny inoculating. Until let's talk about protecting. Parents is an American, they try to control the child's environment. Until they make the decision when it comes to choice of 7 things, and I say environmental things. Parents not try to say, one won't be making decision among Kodano. For instance, entertainment, friends, and then for access offer, clothes, music, reading material, all kind. You don't want your child to read certain materials. Television shows, and movies. The big can but I'll limit to this. And most parents, they try to protect these children from wrong influence. Now they think wrong influence. Now in their minds, they want to reinforce Christian principles. Christian principles. But I have two news for you. Number one, it's unfortunate. Controlling a teenager's environment simply doesn't work. So also we control a colano environment. It doesn't work. Why? Why, they say? Well, you cannot shield your youngster from worldly influence. What him say? The same problem now. Ewa kodano ho wahana. Ewa abontin, ewa Christian school, ewa sorry demo, ewa baby problem no. Ewo mu say it can be to a lesser degree. Ewo baby to say church a lesser degree. But obabe to me our church ho ama sebe obema bi ne nada. Ama obabe nso ne nada. Ewo church kwa. Nti ewo baby you can't protect it. Number two, parents maybe try to isolate a enkolano. They isolate them from worldly influence. And also an ineffective method. You cannot isolate. As I said, akodani niya eventually no nyino. As I said, akolano, olivu or course environment no olivu sa structured environment now then atomono. Outside, and I almost friend a bubble. And so feel bubble no more. He may have to deal with reality for himself. Akolano or dane adult. Inti bedroom baby no. Onam tisania menyi, tisania wenyi, me mama control me bio, me papa. He may have to deal with reality for himself. Inti, let's talk about preaching. The first one here, protecting. Preaching. And so a common mistake. Parents do not try to overact to negative influence. They make remarks regarding non-Christian standards. Any non-Christian standard. Onko direct. Another method they say use remarks. Hoping say nebano be avoid it. Sa sabe a Jimmy Seven. For instance, say nebani ye bibia or pese or deter nebano from listening to rock music. Dad, and answer mom, yana meman and the tires idea can constantly make belittling remarks about such music. Ube no can someone master music no guhufi. Senia and Colano friend preaching. You are preaching to them. Now researchers in your answer friend preaching. Now we borrow the words from the children. These techniques will backfire by producing opposite effects. And many things simply tune off. You do baby out preaching on what tune off. So tune off to parent overreaction. No tune off. Who name say? Nkolano, they are smart. They can listen respectfully to that music now. They build up a momentum. Now failure utie outside. Now a bedroom baby no teofie. Now fake crowd or yes, some clandestine activities in front of you, right before your nose. No, yeah, near maybe crowd. Anything a parent be that or better any phones or better any computer. So now porn any near money and near me wasn't your papa. Because you are trying to restrict and you are trying to preach. It seclude from those behaviors, but no so yes. Now when at last, but who may brave parents, but told when him saying I'll buy you near no then seguinity. And you may buy my training is enough, it leaves you with grief and guilt. No one near you. Now you also what we are defeated, but you what? By your what? And you watch, let's say, and you know man here, but they watch, let's say you are using the wrong method to train your children. If you see they will become what we want them to become. Kaites no say train up a child when he is young, and when he grows, he will not leave it. So presentation in me, Andrews University, baby, and they applauded me. My professor said, wow, this is a powerful research. On him said, such parents, question as I say you be said. Yana and answer one more at I be say, but training me bano quain biaso eba say na kola ya feeli. I declare to you the most effective method teaching values and standard to teenagers through the process that is called inoculation approach. Now, what is inoculation approach? Inoculation involves so many strategies, but Mama may simplify it. Parents prepare akolano during the early years. I don't say for inoculation 2-3 say before I had the bebano. Now I inoculate you near vaccine. Ain't you inoculate you? A bra we are codano. Yadiana nina bebano. Yadiana to make count. Train up a child when he is young, and when he grows, he will come out of it. Until we develop the theory inoculation from that test. A gradual teaching. I will shall see it from the childhood. But Sakolano to teenager, you can still start, and I will talk about it. And that rather than preaching against negative influences, and as isolating the child from negative influences, parents must teach values through 2 things: examples and open discussion. Parents must teach their children through examples and open discussions. As I say, only to me discuss it to say a friend. So we do teenager. Now we use example. Only example, one hear more. If you are now, as a colon started so trantra, also we are for or to say, because we're whom so trantra. And so BB arise with your issue be bad. As I said, both parents weigh the pros and cons. Discuss it in an open way. Francolano and Fracolano, you won't discuss it in an open way. I'm telling you, one bed dig you, one bed catch there, one for say, I have a superman, I have a super dad. Now that relationship, you move bring Colani in your mind change you. Anybody new relationship with their children. The young person should not be talked to. Rather, you should talk with him or her. Don't talk to him. Talk with him. Someone say, "Who talk to her?" She say, "What you doing now? Catch them." But who talk with their one and a dinkomo, a discussing. Parents, as frequently as possible, so bet me, allow the young person to make his own choice early in the selection process. Say, akolani sano started chire no say you make a choice. Jano no make choices. Even if the decision is poor, hear me pa. Even if the decision is poor, yan ye chire kolano, o chire no anu wati. Once I the number, once I chire no wati. Now, what examples for the repetitions are with akolano no watcha. Teacher papa me manya 100%. Teacher Bonnie or Chiradi Dia after the exams in the Hunu and Colani fail because woman tears here anyway. And how much better your youngster learns early to avoid poor choices than later on when the decision has a greater consequence is at stake better. So what to make trouble friend bro young. Into your bedroom baby. When that decision making is at stake, abofrano unim dada. Take 2 children. Our back on the mammy and his aunt, papa and his son. And your back on your bruno. A do decision making, I'll be who know who on ye. No corner down for the hole. Okay, I ain't any day. There be an empty. You can peer pressure is one of the clues. No be na training on ye because only yes sir. Few parents and they to me tolerate the atmosphere of openness. As so we are open. It is by far the most effective approach. It is by far the most effective approach. I will say most parents, young men see them. They are compelled, say teenager, ye bibia, or make a decision, dear man. Most parents, they make the decision even without knowing. Like, Yenny saying, what do you mean? Yenny say, Jano. So, Ubadu teenager, not to be make a decision, not still how to make a decision, man. You are behind. However, wise decision making is an acquired ability. Woman can be. Wise decision making is an acquired ability. And internet is ya sorry man, woman nyansa because o sanyina no ye kire no okokan saba school o yes o no so ye bi tere bi kra na mani preaching na mani say to do school na say speaker onsuro because why you are sorry them sir akola bi a owu Worcester na call na yi na mayor any teachers no headmasters di ne ho adanse say akola wi oye sonko ba nam de nam nim say akola na aka ni nyina aye sonko because I need training wo mo. Wise decision making is an acquired ability. Now you be hesenia sa ability no ubetumi aboa wo ba e ma na acquire. On him say it is a muscle. It is a muscle. Untini no o muscle no. The more you use it repeatedly, no, I can say repeatedly, no, the more it grows strong. In fact, biology for what 10 be our more can use it or lose it. Use it or lose it. In Tiakolana na join us on a tier. Say, or you sure a do baby cry or ya adaptive. Now what you mean outwit and answer what you mean a dear fast assembly so because we're going to be paying. Be bien anyone, young penny crowd be added for froba. But one who be paying. When you're friend of inoculation method, it calls for involvement of the teenager. Involve the teenager in certain standard for the home in advance of the event. Most certain standard and some DNSC. We will give examples. For instance, in crucial areas, like say, a driver, you need to teach him standards. Dating. Say, better baby, we are there obey dating. First, teach her, teach him. Sexual behavior, get around, can successfully be addressed in such manner. And prior to the time a teenager is allowed the privilege of dating or driving, he or she should be encouraged to suggest guidelines. Me say, he should be encouraged to suggest guidelines. I want you to put them down and bring it to us. Ono abekwa ko list ade ne de aba frenchim kra ka ukra wo de manu a ka unya ne saa. Se o pese o date your bar. What would you guard against? How would you go about it? Cultural bra. If you crop back or your research, but the more your research, they can it trim. There be very good computers. Now, parents too must have input. As I said, parents also, and what's agreement in the movie to the bar? What they want you to him one. Me a church, no, what threatening a crabby diamano. Nani be just say, or no one ashes a diamano. And the method is very effective. Now, when the young person formulates and agrees to abide by a rule, I'm telling you, he will follow through much more consistently. Sakolanwa, yes, a mina rule, I'm telling you, he will follow through. So I did wait till 3 months, you have half of my lesson. Then say, if the parent is demanding, a importance of parents no so benya input, don't get me wrong. But parenting input no must be little as possible. Now, that process, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes patience, but it can yield rich dividends, rich payoff. My friend, a handsome payoff. And teenager who has been allowed and who is encouraged, I'm telling you, to make choices, is likely to cooperate with family policies. Because of can be. In fact, Ebra me suya sadi hu ye no. Na manyin. Na me manos wanyin. But me used to ye na eboa me. Eboa me pa. Enti ni eboa kola ne se. E mane oboa no ma we develop a healthy independence and a positive self-respect. Adie mienu a wudi jaw ba no. Now, these two things are indispensable characteristics in the child's growth. Or you're independent. Now, say, or positive self-respect. Akolano, obeko be pia. Adi obi repuno. Adi obi di wi share no menem. Obeko be pia. No beba be can be pia so. Now, common trapper. Yeah, parents, I get caught up, the argument of everybody is doing it. Ubia, yes, I did. Now, how can parents handle such argument? Parents, they are caught up in such a bind, no? I want to give you a solution. Most of the times, they try to explain the things. One person, one more almost everything, everybody is doing it. Now, parents, don't know what to do. Say, Basa, take the opportunity and teach the child. Should I say, the kind lenient as possible. Makolani was we lenient. Power life. But so this has something bad. Mani say, everyone does not do things alike. And you beyond or yadi pepe. At this stage, we training into we started believe why in a role model. Enti mani who saw no cross at Tino. And so he also what every parent is also doing. Because other parents are doing it, no, because you're Christians, and we do it by Christian values. That is where you bring your preaching. We do it by our Christian values. And within reason, ma akodano a lot more freedom as he desires. Ope freedom adi famano onyira on say. Because I said Deborah, nam nini differently. Obe fiya me say, hey, I join a Chinese boy no on fane me fiye da. I said, Daddy, Chinese, no one lecture me. Nienti answer so kofa Chinese boy. And eventually she ended up dead. You can do it. It is very important for the Christian parent. So what that establishes in the early life. Now I'm a Kolana who said, you do things differently than non-Christian parents. because their value system is different. All the time. So one value system is different. Yes, your value system is different. And everybody is not doing the same thing. I could not fast trap on number view. Now, I thought I'd be on Colana the baby bar. Yeah, yet I can know immediately. I mean, chilo baby waha. If a child yet I can know no much on the papa. Yet I can know immediately, though. Yeah, dreams, especially when Colani bisa permission via. Parents don't feel say. One more, it puts them on a safe ground. Now, one to be a dream who ye. Ain't it? Or shall I say, I'll say no. Now, for Tia Colana, Semnoa, Kakra, ye papa, no are changing in no to yes. Yes. This strategy, no, a man Colani who said, you need to be argumentative. It's a better baby, no one can say the Pim Sufio. Who can also say no? And for do baby, no, say yes. But could that remove no? A man Colani as yes, your no means maybe. Because we know no get no. It will to me convince why maybe. Trying to say no, yeah, I will think over it. Sana Colano, me take away or different channel. But a wiser parent, ebe catch that Colano so be some permission on canoe. Obeka and say, give me the facts. Niente a we hear sardine, can you actually me? Now me make a decision. Now, in fact, so the Nina Mount Crowd catch it and say, I need time to think about it. Give me some time. Now, I want to talk with your dad. I want to talk with your mom. I'll let you know when we decide. Now, yes, sir, it shows the child the unity, the bond between the two of you, number one. Number two, it shows the child, say, my mommy is prudent. He thinks about things before he answers. And you're training out the Markodano. Then make a rational decision as possible. And once you make it, stick to it. Did you hear that? Once you make it, stick to it. And so who's a son out here? Hey, papa, I would demand. Hey, Bonnie, I would demand. Now you stick to it. Oh, my own champion. Because said that waka say, Mama waka say, because he gave you time. Now, that time now no now no kuni now so actually. Mama Colano time I'm the show mu training in here because ya nya time ama sani akwa adwuma unya time ye uti kwa sorry how you say nya time man Colano na mo plan some of the things and some of the two when you discuss it and come up with a rational solution. Now let's talk about punishment a little bit. So me ade na ya kwa wie. E wa pa but yentumi ka bibia da kro. Punishment. What kind of punishment necessary at the Bible front? Now me book we a classroom management. Now me try me thesis now me ka say I mean I give say management at every level of class should be different. As I say akola punish akola should be different. As all punish anymore should be different. Now TM. Hashtag no. The can is an accord every was what I say. Hashtag critical. Yambe can get critical part. Parents should never spank or whip a teenager. Period. You know why? Two reasons. An adolescent, or consider himself as an adult. What kind of one? What kind of infinity? Who saw an adult? Now, who's spanking say a baby dear? Jobo Banwa. That's what no become. And of course, now you know what it does to him? Flogging affects their self-esteem. Because who's en Coladia? but give him a mature discipline. We'll talk about it. Don't sacrifice his self-esteem on the altar of resentment. Sakolan, because he's resenting you, then you sacrifice his self-esteem on that altar. No. When Chres said you should abandon your control, rather, no, when him said, teenager be here, firm, consistent supervision, because their whole sense of security, no, depends on your firm, consistent supervision. So your parent, not when you're firm, now when you're consistent, I no feel say only security, on your secure. And yes, so you're firm. I'm not talking about leaving your control. Rather, no, I'm talking about using the right method. Control at that age and I appropriate. You don't need to use specific methods all the time as you use during the childhood, about boom, boom, boom. That's all done, no. And so what I'm going to introduce at this time, a principle, no, then you can apply the principle in different ways, in different situations. Now, when you are talking over within the matrix of reasoning and concern, it can adequately handle all infractions. There's no discuss reasoning. Now show concern a buakolan, a bit me handle video. And in an open discussion, I'm sorry, say failure. Next lesson is all you say. You can open discussion. Now show concern. Say no failure. We show open a bit. Oh, pastor, why be Kolan machano many didn't come me done me yes say go to the next level. Yeah, now young parents ni be our money near you man at that age. Yeah, money be home. Give him or her allowance. Now allowance no be boa ha. Allowance who here sika kesi. Maybe $10, $20. Want to be now they are sharing sir. So we sika it be $100, it be $200. Now they are sharing sir. Now we check in a budget making procedure. Now we share and yes it's can the money kwa. Now we check it with this can yet in oh chro. Maybe engine and adrian was to scan out the man no when he come home. Ain't it? Sebasa at this stage, withhold the privilege. Be beyond what they are here, allowance, privilege. Be beyond what they are man. So many pay. Either say, or call evening to friends. A allowance out the man. Or call trip. What time man call sleep over. I mean, I don't succumb to sleepovers here. But I'm not going to talk about it here. We will talk about pros and cons of sleepover one of these days. And I say, be a person use some car, no? And I say, allowance and kasa sika restricted. Take the privilege out. Put himself. Withholding allowance, will help you control this type of behavior. How? You better become ye para. Niatiani said, don't withhold. Niemfa allowance withholding, and yene the falling grades. Sakola grades say follow. Don't withhold anything. You know why? Because poor grades point to problems that may be beyond your teenager. I bet me crab as any teacher and a man in your poor grades. I bet me ambassador the number for a bullying with school and a man in your poor grades. I bet me ambassador the classroom environment itself. Classroom management, classroom arrangement, lights and near dear. I bet me about mold. It can be anything. I bet me about a teacher and one casano. He's not measuring assignments as at the level of his teaching, at the level of the content. So, and I say he keeps things from the students and then texts them there. So many things. It's in the American, they say, don't withhold privileges, as opposed to say, would they fight it and improve grades? It won't work. Because that problem may be beyond the teenager's control. Now, discipline working most effectively for teenagers. when they have a hand in setting the discipline, in setting the rules and consequences for infraction. So become baby me soon have you. Sakolano has a hand in controlling the rules and the consequences for infraction. Boni or ye no one. Of any year. Teenagers, any parents, sadly differently. Parents, you know who they say, a way to negotiate discipline, an attempt to influence his behavior. But Kolano soon say, a fresh breeze. Oh, maybe I made your mom hot Tommy. Ah, mama, your mom hot Tommy. Or mammy, I'm a yardiano, and then yaji, but obey follows. One mother be a use some method. Inoculation and explain no. One mother be use some method. A bra, on any banner yen she and a banner, a book curfew on an iron so. A colano do fiano say, okay. Now my mena could call an imu pa. Now my mena is acting like a mother. Let's hear you give yourself a lecture that you deserve right now. Tell us why you coming this time. You stupid jack. Not your name. Kolani Shasi, to calm the man, no stress. But no walk through rules no or no set it in an for church and yen see or bar late. And I never make catch ready say. You don't want me to withhold. So withholding any bottom. You don't want me to withhold your license. So yes, you are. And she said, yes, sir. In 2 weeks, you are going to get your license. You know, say you are breaking it. Akolan said, ma'am, it won't happen again. I'm a fees at time with you. And for what the license no cry no me fees at time with you. Many other folk. The American say inoculation works. Now, Mama, main call 2 more things, so now main fancy because I think that you want to ask questions, but I'm gonna take your time now because I don't know. I'm sorry. Work responsibility for teenagers because in here, one him said before astronaut be a full space shift, no. Now you're training, no. Now astronaut who see training ye no, or you good astronaut, you bony thing. Now, sana kodati. The more no a teenager can learn and assume responsibility of adulthood, no. So person, yes, sir, he needs to learn 2 things. Akolana is a about life and how to live it. Now, me it looks vague. And to wise parents, one you fear say, my friend say laboratory, a test laboratory. A honor or my colani practice it because of the carbon to say doctors. Oh, yeah, also may call lab. Suyan the any do baby. Now, you don't call necessary, you don't call hospital, no call you, and yes, book no possible. It's what 10 who fear her to a laboratory. I watch them on the art of living and homemaking. How? Teach your teenager how to cook, how to do laundry, how to clean the house, how to make household repairs. BB say, yeah, how to do groceries, how to balance the budget, how to care for the yard, how to plan a social event. Into the sorry program, take the advantage, teach the child how you are planning. My home pro say me yana kona kolana kutiebi. Parent ni be cross me the be man wo ho no wa hu tani ameke cancer. Obi okra asem no okoka ne banti no okoka. So ye ba children how to prepare food. Sometimes occasionally man prepare the whole meal. Eyet de enye de muni. When him so dinner enye ne da. Obe hu pa the difference. Obi suya ni ye. Ghana for muni ne ye children how to sew. how to do laundry, how to help with house cleaning. So your bema, if you have windows, any blanks, how to take it down and to put it back. Children, send you ye fear, children. Send you to the beer, obey how to cook. And then a man cook. So ye garden beer, getting kitty beer, children, send you how to do dishes. Oh, this is a big one. Uka say now person unim ya, and then be light bulb, be wo change ya. Call him, teach him how to repair the car, how to fix broken items around the home. When him say, a man munti me young boys and more so. Girls love boys like that. Girls love boys who are all around. Ask your friend, and she will tell you. A man who say ye train you, a man will feel proud of you. And you're especially important. So Bachelor will back these duties in a home. I don't say you can't the reason and the rationale behind. And then the make sure the rationale behind. Now, in keeping with their maturity, no, ain't you children is only a nebuano. Nebuano pa. So baba. And yes, I'll be vacuum for your hockey. Young fan said, more on Okum, more person who talk curtains for floor. And the best said, damn ho. Involve the girl. Oh, Calabani and Tom. Me just say involve them in your home chores decision making. Generally. Decoration. And Chakolani Benino, no, yeah, my friend is a designer. I don't know my Moses says, you did balu, she said, my friend is a Nakolano names are the name. Young fan is a Kofi and answer Lees. One she says, or no obey dishes or no basic. But school or organ book or baseball or piano or classes. I thought to be a parent, take it and do it and let them go. So that over here. You know what you are teaching the child? Oh mani who said, so be no children one, it may be one. Be no children one, it may be one. And it's a oba. Echo Juma. Oh, by the way, Ghana for the Yana man pay Juma and Peso Mobile. Or through certain age, and in Juma. Pipiano. Yeah, Shankolana, I'll call Walmart in Oniama. One more time, when they bit me a cat as Acolani is a method. Acolani be open no Casacratis or no see a pennymuch okra. And more independent, and more grown them. So, Peso Juma. When in Juma be brea. Ebe you not doing free addition answer. Papa time job kakra de. Who bet me allow no amana ye. Now, when so bet of budget making, because you are going to get involved. At once no chance you now the be asheho. Okay. Ebi I would be 18 and I would be saying I will be saying car so car obeto car. And you need to save. Let's can all bank in good places. No, who send you keep his scan. Send your own scan no baswasa. How to motivate a child? Say, me the way any assignment we am baby mom will be tracked to honor because it looks like say, I don't know. Let me look at the time. Say in China. 8:23. That's 7 minutes. Can we see who here? What do you say? Me from round now next time here to us. No more questions be more from round. Okay, silence means consent. Oh, my to us. How now bet me I motivate you back? Uba teenager, why you be beer is not moving them? How can you motivate such a child? Akoda, it's still difficult to get him on his feet. How can you do that and lead the child to the right direction? Sir, no, me be here because I'm sorry, I know what. Me just any corner. Will be your question be on family. Next time we'll continue, Madam Massey. Because time now move to 6, you know. I see a DBA discussion. By discussion, we internalize the learning more. Yes, maybe I'm to be or question be on Fambra. And I'm on Temenka. Makasa Guana.
Hello, Pastor.
Yes, maybe I talk as
Yeah, this is a classroom game. Akurano, ohun se na oya ade. And factors be akikini kama akurano. Say no on perform senior na oye no. Ana adichire no o chire no wo si bi mpo asa normal ye beyond akurano control. Inti as a parent no. Kwan bani ebasa wetin afaso aboa akurano ne performance no ebesia ko back.
The first thing I will do is say, I'll go and meet with the teacher. Because who are two caretakers, parents, you know, and a teacher. No? But cognitive learning, you know, is a teacher. And sometimes, I will go and meet with the teacher. And then want to know, teachers know so many you. Say parent to be, apart from day, a teacher parent day, you know. Say parent to be so interested. I want to come and meet the principal. I want to meet the teacher concerning my child learning. They are very happy. But you go and throw in the question. Who's a banner learning conform? What are some of the challenges? What are you seeing? Give me the symptoms. And then ask the question, how can we improve? Again, I mean, make me a year to improve. Because in this case, a specific child and a specific situation, which the teacher might know already. And teacher don't all carry akolana. Let me tell you, I had teachers, you know, they are trained. They are trained. They know how to handle the kids. And you be out tips. Be a bebo parent. Number 2. Say, me used to say, Sakolano will room timer because I had a bombarded. Almost structure education is every time is occupied to keep the child busy. It's in a time of this but say, or room beer, you can hide the child something. And answer you can deviate a little bit and introduce a different extracurricular learning to say music. Music is very important. Which me and organ, keyboard, piano. Those classes, you know, is going to motivate the child and let the child know that I can do something. Or say, you can't learn in it. One researcher said, learning yadi back. Learning, ain't obi okra, send you go football. And you're learning. And you're learning. Obi okra send you interact with people, social learning. And you're learning. Ain't every achievement, Samuka last week make us say every achievement become a stepping stone to future achievements. It is akolano to me achieve well in that piano you know. Now motivate akolano manisuya. It will change everything. It will change everything. And I will offer this too, say, introduce an extracurricular learning program. And now say, go and see the teacher who is taking care of it. And you can go through the principal, but with the teacher no one crying. Okay, any other question, Pamcho?
Yeah, Pastor, a question for you. I miss a question.
Yeah, Fabra.
Now, Mpocho, Unkura, only a teenager, only a Jumano. Only me say, Akura, no, any quagia Jumano who be bra, a bit more affected education.
Yeah, research, you know, I say, Sunny and American learning is diverse. So now me bobo a different kinds of learning, budget learning, physical learning, and so here in the holidays, as all picky parents, you know, move way akolano, and who say akola will be to me a year, and akola is slacking on to me here. And you know, and not the idea me kind here, but Nina depending on the family and the kind of child you are dealing with. Akola be all bit me I be a part time, maybe your bar. McDonald's work just 2 hours. No, I bet you. A man in your Juma is so penny. Woman here Juma is so penny, then you are killing the concept. What you are doing is you are inoculating the child all round. Ain't it? Man in your be never born. But so if you're now banning to media, you can wait until the child is getting to college. College, dear. So I was last week, I can say, at this stage, you know, now a frontal, you know, not it's still forming. And even though you're wise, but near maybe or onim, anything that you want to teach the child. And other mommy can is any depending on the home and the child we're talking about. Okay, when you
mpacha me also.
me patch until also.
Media ne deɛ ɛyɛ mmoa na mede to wo deɛ no so.
Fabra.
Akwadaa bi a wɔgye ne papa di. Wosu a wɔgye ne papa di, wɔgye ne maame nso. Nti na Awurade sɛ wo a wowɔ fie no, mo a motete ne mfitia aseɛ nkorabere mu no, wo na sɛ wonya akwadaa no so etumi, wofa kwan bi so a wobɛtumi ama akwadaa no adania amenyame anaasɛ wadania yɛ papa anaa wadania kɔ bɔne. Sa akwadaa woka kyerɛ ne sɛ woyɛ adeɛ paa na adeɛ wɔ wonya nhuni yie wobɛtumi yɛ adeɛ wobɛyɛ amena boro so a na ne tiri mu ayɛ ne dɛ. Eti wo kyerɛ no wɔsɛ ne kyerɛ me mɛyɛ ɔkwa bia kyerɛ sɛ metete nkwa na mehu sɛ sa akwadaa bia sɛ woman confident sɛ wobɛtumi ayɛ a wonya gidie sɛ wobɛtumi ayɛ. Enti nkwadaa teteɛ no gye sɛ wode love ɛna saa ka ho wode dɔ ka ho a na akwadaa no pɛ w'asɛm a biribi a wobɛkyerɛ ne bia no wotumi yɛ.
Thank you. Just from infancy, Akolano will love for the parent.
Yes.
Akolano will confidence in the parent. All you are doing is a own nature confidence. Thank you for pointing it out. The socio emotional aspect of relationship. So I think building it up. Into building it up. A bedroom baby no one or you're better than other children. Situation be obey to me a handle. Thank you. I think that that's important. Mind you. Okay. Someone question be idea about 8:32. Next time be a me time to teach no. Met to away so. Minimum by be brave. I think say na adagye na anyhow because some of these things but we need to because they are necessary. Now these are cutting edge approaches are a Bible based. So me can say train up the child when he's young and when he grows he won't depart from it. Nyame shiramu be brave. Nyame kind of bronze home. On my encoder what we are aiming at no bebu. Na in future no be who ye my doctors in one ye man great ebi cry now the next Ghanaian to be president of the United States if he know bronze rather yes sir unshra parents you know e won adom krom amen.